Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to the Tetsudo Mokei Podcast edition, episode 25. What's up, everyone? Well, today is the 24th, the 25th in Japan, and I know a lot of friends, a lot of people went there to Japan for Anime Japan to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the event. And usually I cover that event. This year I'm not, but I hope everyone has a good weekend for that, or good weekend in general. If you're not in Japan, everyone listening to this podcast, have a good weekend. But yeah, I think there's a big downpour of rain right now, and I know that a lot of people probably was enjoying the sunshine and the cherry blossoms yesterday. Then all of a sudden, a lot of rain today. So that's one thing about Japan during this spring, is that it's rather unpredictable at times, especially when it's sunny and then it's rainy and then there's a lot of wind. And the bad thing about it is, if you are there for the cherry blossoms, especially since it bloomed about 2 weeks early, now that they're fully bloomed, especially in the Kanto, the Tokyo area, after this rain, usually is wind follows, and hopefully those of you who are planning to go to Japan next week or the week after, I hope that there are cherry blossoms still around, because it's because they happened 2 weeks early. I'm not sure if it's going to be around, so knock on wood. There's always a chance. I do know that for me, I remember a few years ago of going for the whole cherry blossom and wanting to experience the hanabi and so forth. It was wonderful, and it happened the last week of March and the first week of April. And while it was quick, and it was just interesting to see how just the rain and then the wind just wiped out everything really within days after it blossomed. Just seeing everything from the beginning, when the blossoms first come out, and then when you catch it right at the end and everything falling, it's actually a pretty beautiful sight, especially if you go to the areas around Japan, around Tokyo, or even through the Kyoto area. It's rather beautiful. I was actually able to see the cherry blossoms in various areas of Japan at that time. But again, things have bloomed 2 weeks earlier, so I hope you all have a chance to, who are going to Japan, at least have a chance to see it. But again, Anime Japan is this weekend, and for those of you who live in Japan or are planning to go there to Japan, hopefully you can make the event. This is a big one, 10th anniversary. And also after that, I believe on April 1st or the 2nd, it's the biggest cosplay event, Acosta, and they're going to have an Ultra Acosta event at Ikebukuro. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. And also a big shout out to my second home, Ikebukuro, and their Animate store, which had their grand opening after doing some renovations, and it's a lot more spacier, roomier, and a lot more space because they included a theater and so forth. But that's if you're going to go to the Sunshine City area and go to Animate, check it out at Ikebukuro. That's the main headquarters, not the one at Akihabara. Akihabara is still cool, but the thing is that a lot of people don't know that Ikebukuro is becoming one of the bigger areas that are drawing anime fans, and it's already become a big cosplay area. But for anime fans, it's becoming popular because it was first targeted where Akihabara targets the guys, hence the little models that you see if you walked around there, scantily clad little model female figurines that are sold at the stores. But it's the opposite with Ikebukuro. At one time, it was mostly targeting towards the females, but I think things have changed for the most part, that both areas are big areas to visit for people into anime and cosplay. And for those of you who are into train models, Ikebukuro, and also there's many areas where you can get your Japanese railway model fix. But one thing I do recommend that you pick up is the latest issue of RM Models, which just came out just 3 days ago. And this is issue 332. And the big, this is more like a little catalog, this issue, because it shows all the newest releases, including including buses. Usually you don't see that, or a lot of Tomitech releases, but this issue does a really good job of showing all the new releases that are coming out. Especially, I saw this little vehicle that carries the trucks, and connects to the trains. It's not a Koki. I forgot the name, what it was, but I thought that was pretty cool. Let's just go peruse the. You can see some of the coverage right here. Another thing that I purchased, and I'm going to talk about it. This is more there's not structures, but they're trees or something I want to talk about right here is the Kato 24082. This is the Engaged Cherry Blossom Tree, and I got 2 of these, and you get 3 per package. It's not bad. About you get it for like about $7 or so, US dollars, but it's 1064 yen. But they're perfect for Engage. They're small, about maybe 2 or 2.5 inches, 2 inches, I guess. And it's well packaged. You will have some of the pink, like the little petals or so scattered, but it's not that bad. Everything should work out. They are more of the pinkish white, which is good. So for those who are very picky about that, there you have it. There are other ones that you can get, but that I think I saw a few where it has the branches and looks like a real tree, but it's more of the blossoms. So there's more of more of the tree itself and the branches versus the pink and whitish blossoms. But this one, you get a lot of the white and pink. And it's a Kato release, and they usually sell out of this, and I was surprised to see them back in stock. So definitely took advantage of that and got it. I actually put it around one corridor because the thing is that I didn't want too much of it. I wanted my diorama to be a little diverse. So yeah, I had that. I have this like maybe in one curve area. That's all I wanted it in, and maybe one tree next to my shrine area, and another one next to some traditional housing. But that's pretty much it. The next one I got was this dowstage bamboo tree, or I'm not sure what you would call it, just bamboo, that you get 25 of these, and they're about 3.9 inches, which is perfect because they're very tall. And so far they work really well on my diorama. I have these in clusters on 2 curves, on opposite curves, so of a track, and I'm really liking it a lot. I do have a mixture of big trees and bamboo, because usually when I pass by an area, it's something that you usually see often, like bamboo forests, and just something that you see on the trains with trees and bamboo. But I needed and I wanted some, just 2 things represented in my diorama: cherry blossoms for spring, and the bamboo that I'll always remember during the fall. In the fall, and there's one thing that I am contemplating, but I haven't done it yet, and I don't know if I will. It's autumn colors. I will always love visiting Japan during December, because that's when you could see, or November, late November or December. That's the best time where you can see the leaves when it's most red, when it's most orange, and just a variety of colors, especially if you are in Japan during that time. I mean, I went there to check it out at the Shinjuku Gyoen, the Shinjuku Park, and my goodness, I went there during cherry blossoms, which is beautiful, but at the same time, all the grass is yellow and dead, but the trees are kind of, I guess everyone's there for the trees, which is all good, but again, November, December, when you see all the trees in yellow or orange or red and green, it's just really just just stays in your mind. It's definitely a memory, and definitely one of the most beautiful things I've seen in my life. So, of course, of those of you who live in the East Coast, probably see this all the time. Here, not so much. It's usually when it's green, and when it falls off, it's brown and dead. So, or something, you just have to, you see green, but sometimes you have to just rake it up, and it's just nothing beautiful. It's just something that we're used to seeing over here in the West Coast. But yeah, I had to get this bamboo and add it. There was one complaint saying, "Oh, it's too shiny" or so, but really, there's ways around that. You can just buy yourself some matte spray that you could put over it, but I'm not tripping over it. It's just, I think it works perfectly for my needs. I guess it just depends on your diorama, but really, for what I wanted, it's perfect. Okay, let's take a look at news in Japan. Let's see here. We got Omiya Station. So let's see what's going on. So they had a ceremony on Omiya Railway Day, Saitama. The JR East Omiya branch designated March 16th when Omiya Station opened as Omiya Railway Day and held a commemorative ceremony. So they set up a Tetsumachi welcome board, and they hope to revitalize the region and increase the non-resident population by enhancing events on the station premises. Smart. As mentioned, these smaller stations need to find ways to bring people in, and I think Omiya Station, that's a really good one to bring people to the area, and one way is through tradition, and that's pretty cool. So they are going to install the board. They're also going to have station stamp books designed by station staff, and distributing railroad cards to commemorate Omiya Railway Day. And about 50 people lined up to buy station stamp books before the shop opened on the first day, so that's promising. Stamp books are popular in Japan, and especially in Tokyo. They do a lot of stamping events, I know. I don't really collect railway stamps, but I do know friends who do, and they usually have these events where you try to go to many stations to get stamps, and I know friends who have done that before. So, yep, that's pretty cool. Here's some big news right here. JR Tokai will be collaborating with the popular anime series, and well, I guess you could call it, because they do different things, but it's the Love Live Sunshine School Idol Project collaboration from March 25th through August 31st. So you got quite a bit of time. So yeah, it's pretty much you can visit Numazu Station, and there's a lot of tie-in specials right here that they have planned. Guests, voice actresses, seiyu, But yeah, they're gonna have like stamp stamp activities where people can get their favorite characters in chibi format. As you can see as you saw in those pictures right there. There will also be acrylic stands that people can get. Um, but yeah, it's all part of this promotion. And as mentioned, this is a way for stations to bring in people. I've said this many times. Anime tie-ins, movie tie-ins, sports tie-ins, they really work. And this is for an area in the Shizuoka area, and yeah, I mean I think that's pretty smart to team up with a popular series with popular characters. Actually, you can't go wrong with Love Live, Idolmaster, stuff like that. Quite popular. So J.R. Tokai and yeah, Love Live Sunshine, March 25th through August 31st. Okay, let's see what we have here. So a new train has been delivered to the Fukushima Rinkai Railway. Looks like a DE. Oh no, it's on March 22, 2023, on Wednesday, a new DD562 vehicle manufactured by Niigata Transys was delivered to Onahama Station on the Fukushima Rinkai Railway. It was the company's first new car in about half a century. Wow. And it was the continuation of the DD561 currently in use. The coloring is the same as the previous vehicle, and the patrol lights on the deck, which is also a feature of the company, have become thin warning lights this time around, and they are installed on the upper part of the headlights and the skirt part under the front deck. So, cool. Okay, let's see what this one is. So Tokyo Metro and Tokyo, they're collaborating with employee apps. Starting on March 27th, Wednesday, or Monday, starting March 27th on Monday, the Tokyo Metro and the Tokyo Corporation will use the system to guide wheelchair users and other passengers who need assistance on getting on and off trains. Announced it will link the employee applications of the two companies. Oh, that's a plus. Tokyo Metro introduced an app for passenger guidance in 2021 and Tokyo Corporation in 2017. So when guiding between Tokyo lines, information would be shared between both stations by telephone. The target lines are all the Tokyo Metro lines, excluding stations managed by other companies, and the Tokyo, Toyoko, Meguro, and Den and Toshi lines. Both companies can share and collaborate in real time. In addition, it will be possible to guide users between the two companies more smoothly and further improve services. So, that's pretty cool. Looks like the CARP is getting a new wrapping train. This is a CARP support wrapping train for 2023 and begins operation on March 28th. When it comes to trains, and I think I spoke about this before on a past episode, that the Hiroshima CARP, the amount of support. I mean, if there's any baseball team in Japan that has tremendous support, I mean that pretty much eclipses even the Yomiuri Giants and the Yokohama Bay Stars and even the Hokkaido Ham Fighters. It has to be Hiroshima CARP. The teams. I mean, I've seen Hokkaido fans travel far to watch their games, but in the Hiroshima CARP, they're just really dedicated. In fact, I think it's the only station where almost like every time the seats are packed and very little of the opposing team. Because every time you go to a game, you'll see a good presence of the opposing team taking most of a section in the back. But with Hiroshima games, man, especially against Yomiuri Giants, there's always a small portion there. But when it comes to the Hiroshima Carp, again, it's one of the few teams that are owned by the people of the city, and this began right after World War II and after the atomic bomb hit Hiroshima. And there's really good stories about that, and it's really touching. Baseball is pretty much, the heart and soul of that city, and they have some mad respect for their team, and especially the certain smaller lines that also do wrapping trains for Hiroshima Carp. But this one, we get to see their new wrapping. It's pretty cool. You don't really see that with other sports teams. I've been to many of the stations, and while you see maybe posters near the stations or at the domes, rarely do you see wrapping trains for a Japanese baseball team. I know Seibu Lions have done theirs, but I think the Hiroshima Carp, they have they have a big following. So I think this is really good for Hiroshima fans. But as part of the support project for the Hiroshima Toyo Carp, in 2023, which is the 5th year of Rewa, JR West will hold the Carp supporting wrap train 2023, 3227 series cars, the A25 formation Komoha 227-25, the Moha 226-25, and the Komoha 226-25 will be wrapped and mainly run on the Sanyo main line between Fukuyama and Shin-Yamaguchi. Also the Kore line and the Kabe line. As for the wrapping on the side car of the body, features the manager Arai Takahiro and 8 players who will be designated along with the Hiroshima Toyo Carp's catchphrase for the 2023 season, which is Ga 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 Kare no Gamshara. Okay, so we're going to talk about this March Madness sale that's going on in Steam right now. I mentioned the sale earlier about the spring sale. That ended 2 days ago. And now we have the March Madness sale. Totally different sale. But what's the difference? Well, while the games that were on sale from Steam from the last week or two are now gone, there are new games that are on sale. Some that are lower than before, some not so much. But what you want to do, you want to go down low. We're going to go to let's say, Train Sim World 3. And then we're going to go all the way to the bottom. We're going to go to content for this game. We're going to go see all. The first thing you're going to look for is anything over 50%. And here is one that is quite golden, and I highly recommend it. So this one is the French route for their high-speed transit. And, I'm sorry if I got this wrong, but it's, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Train Sim World LGV Mediterranee, Marseille, Avignon. I don't know if I got that right, but this is very fun. I really enjoyed it. Pretty much the LGV Mediterranee. I'm so sorry. It's a 250 kilometer, which is 160 mile French high-speed rail between Saint-Marcel-les-Valence, Drôme, and Marseille. Or is it Marseille? I don't know. Bouches du Rhône, and I know French people are like, dude, stop it. You're hurting my ears. But anyway, this high-speed transit allowed it to go for like 3 hours from Marseille, I don't know, to Paris in 3 hours. And I know that it became a major challenge to the airline system because people used to fly, but now you have this high-speed transit to the chagrin of winemakers. I think that's the problem everywhere. You'll see a lot of farming or agriculture really not like these high-speed rails. For one, government buys the land, but two, farmers want the water or they want the land for other things, and I think a lot of them feel that they're losing the landscape because of certain things like this, and then you've got the other proponents who say about the money. This money could have been spent somewhere else, versus it could have been put towards railroads, or not railroads, but more of infrastructure, fixing the roads, the highways, freeways. But you know what? I've seen the benefits of high-speed transit from people going from one way to the other, and my personal feeling is that while cars are great, I mean, here in America we survive on cars, but for a lot of other countries, having high-speed transit or having a train system that people can rely on and not pay as much is a blessing. I could tell you right now, when I go to Japan, when people tell me, how many cars do you have? And many people have 2 or 3 if for families, or some of course 1 to 3 at least, right? To them, that's just amazing, because they look at cars as a luxury of more of that's just another thing to spend. Some people will love their luxury cars. Usually when you see a celebrity or whatever, they'll brag about how they get the Mercedes or something. I know got friends who have Range Rovers in Japan. But the thing is that they're usually more towards the countryside area where driving is a must. But for people in the city, transit, public transit is pretty much the way to go. May they be through trains or subways, buses, taxis, and you can't blame them. It's a lot cheaper. You don't have to worry about that monthly payment, that monthly loan payment, or the of constantly having to well, depending how much you pay, but spending so much every month, every year, just for a vehicle. And again, for us in the U.S., it's part of life. A lot of people own vehicles, and we're kind of used to that. We're kind of used to knowing that there's going to be an expense with a car, gas, smog, you name it, registration, yearly registration. Where in Japan, they don't have that. Not many people have that. Vehicles is more of a luxury, usually for the rich or for people in areas that may rely on your job or just you need to get around, especially if you live in the countryside area. But yeah, I don't know too many people with vehicles in Japan, except those who are wealthy. And my friends make good money; they could do it. So, but the thing is that even though they make good money, they still take the public transit when they have to. They'll just park at the station, and some countryside areas have that, but yeah, they park somewhere. The parking lot structure, so near a station, and it's something that it was interesting for me seeing, because having gone to hundreds of stations and traveled everywhere, it's usually different when you see the metropolitan area and then a countryside area, especially a seaside area. When you go to a train station, it's a totally different mindset when you travel to those areas, especially if you rely on IC cards to take a train, and you keep on depositing your money in, while there's some of those rural areas that they don't have that. You have to buy the old school tickets. So it's just interesting that that when you go to a place that's so modern, and then you go to the countryside or mountainside or Seaside, you still run across these really, really small train stations. But for me, that's part of the excitement of the journey of traveling and seeing these stations that hopefully never get closed down, because a lot of train stations, a lot of train companies, railway companies are having difficulties and have been since the coronavirus pandemic. But anyway, yeah, there's another sale going on Steam. Sorry if you're going on a tangent there, but yeah, for this train alone, this is the TGV Duplex, the Train a Grande Vitesse. Well, it's France's intercity high-speed rail service, and it's operated by SNCF, which is the National Society of French Railroads, and is France's national state-owned railway company. So this TGV Duplex features bi-level carriages, so you'll see people here and there. Seating capacity of 508 passengers. It goes about 320 kilometers an hour, which is 199 miles per hour. But they actually did another test with a shorter formation, and it achieved 574.8 kilometers per hour, which is 357.2 miles per hour, making it the fastest train, right? It's considered the world's fastest train. So it has a active pantograph and all-wheel disc brakes, quiet roof fans, aluminum body, and they call it the Carmelian livery. So all I know is that it looks damn good. I like it. It's very sexy. No, it's very cool. I like the black, the maroon, the white. It just works. Really looks modern. I love it. And this game allows you to ride the 58-mile route from Marseille St. Charles to Avignon TGV, and you will ride the 200 series. So there's about 24 hours of activities, a bit short because there's only 2 training modules and 5 detailed scenarios. But considering that this is usually a was it $39 game or so, or $49? Or is it $59? I know in the sale just a week ago it was nearly $18, but now you could get it for $5.99. That is a steal. So if you can get it, it's highly recommended, and I'm going to play some video right after this podcast so you can check it out. So again, go through the list and pretty much look for anything that's 60%, 50 or 60% or higher, and definitely see if it's for you, because there's a lot of good games on sale. Not a lot as last time, but still games worth considering. One thing to also let people know is that when you go to Steam, you'll run across a lot of negative reviews, and then there's some with positive reviews. So just want to let you know, Dovetail Games is a well-known company who makes a lot of train simulators. They also deal with fishing simulators and other games as well. The train simulators is probably the Train Sim World 3 and the Train Sim Worlds and the Train Simulator Classics are their bigger games. And part of the issue, in one of the things you got to be careful for yourself when you visit Steam, is that there are people who have a bone to pick with the company. For one, they do release a lot of games per month, and what happens is that the games would, sometimes they find bugs, and while not a killer to some areas, people don't like the fact that the games have bugs and don't get patched until they can do it, because they're busy working on other games. And I think there's some people who just wish that they should just do a few releases per per year, or just do something where you could, make a bigger game or make it with less bugs, or keep on patching it up. And the thing is that I understand why people do that and why people are upset. But you kind of have to look beyond what you see on the reviews, because you're going to have your vocal people, and the vocal people are the ones who tend to be very negative. And it's not just here; you'll see it on the forums as well. For not just for Dovetail games, but also the other third-party developers. The thing is, these guys are, putting a lot of time and money. I don't know if they have a large staff. I don't know if what their budget is. But the thing is that they have deadlines, and sometimes with those deadlines, some things are just, some things are not working as one hopes it for it to be, in terms of maybe missing signs or something janky going on with the HUD. But the thing is, that's why you want to do your due diligence. Look on the forums, especially Dovetail's forums itself, on the community, who are very, they really go out and it shows you a different picture. Because right now, I can tell you this: the game that I was looking at, the French one, this one right here, I absolutely love this game, and I had no problems with it. It's challenging. I agree, it's short, but I do not. You just have to really, really, just when you read those reviews, don't take it as fact. There's always going to be people who are going to be picking a bone. Do your own diligence. Read other reviews, and you'll get the down low if it's good or not. In fact, I'll give you my own opinion about it as well. And the other thing that people complain about is that these games are expensive. And first of all, I'm going to say this, and I'm just going to make it clear. Anything that deals with trains as a hobby is never cheap. If you are a traveler who wants to visit many stations, if you want to travel internationally to see these trains, of course, it costs money. It's expensive. Even if you're in Japan, not many people you'll meet who have the luxury to afford the Shinkansen. A lot of people are surprised of how fortunate international travelers are to get a JR pass, because it allows you to take JR trains for a certain amount of time, maybe 7 weeks, not 7 weeks, 7 days, 14 days, or 3 weeks. That is something that international travelers are very fortunate and lucky. But that's where a lot of Japanese are, they don't have that. They have to spend quite a bit, hundreds of dollars, just to ride a Shinkansen. A lot of businesses pay for it. A lot of people have to save for it, as people would have to save for a flight. But that makes a big difference. But the thing is that there are people who are willing who look at it, riding trains as sort of a vacation. People do it here in America with Amtrak, with the Pacific. What is it? The Pacific. I forgot it, but it was, you go through LA and takes you to the coastline. It was the Pacific Coast Line or something like that. I can't think right now, but that one. Or I have a friend who is riding all routes throughout America, and he did it through Amtrak, and that was his goal, and he completed it. But then you also talk about the model trains, from the trains itself, the structures. These are expensive stuff. And if you're looking at a DLC, which you can get on sale for under $6 or under $15, that is way cheaper than one single. Like, for instance, I'm just looking right now at a Tokuden, tram. That's like That's like a $80 to $90 tram right there. I mean, all trains, you're gonna spend 80 to 150 or 200 or $300, depending on how many you get. If it's a full set or if it's a single, it's usually between 70 and 120, 125 at least, depending on how old it is. But the thing is that it's still way, way more expensive than the DLCs. I look at this as I look at train simulator games in a different way because, again, there are various train hobbies out there. I find this the most affordable. There are people who say no, it's too expensive, and because they keep on releasing too many games, and it's just too much. No. Any train hobby is very expensive, but you pay only what you want to pay, and you stick to that budget. Yes, there are people who have good jobs that could afford, as many DLCs they want, as many model trains as they want, and they could travel to different countries to ride different trains and visit various stations. There are people who have the luxury to do that. But the thing is that there is a valid argument that by releasing too much, it prevents the company from doing patches or updates to a system that has issues. I totally understand that. But the thing is that I think there are just some people who are just sick of it, that they'll go to every review and post a negative. And then there's people who have positive reviews that just rather not even share it because, they would rather post it on the main forum or somewhere else. But yeah, the arguments are valid. I understand it. But at the same time, I just don't see the DLCs as expensive because there are other train hobbies, maybe the traveling or the collecting of model trains and the structures or so forth. That's just even more expensive. This is way affordable. $14.99 for a route on sale. This one, usually for that was just $18 on sale 2 weeks ago, and usually it's about $39.99 or so. And now it's $5 on sale. That's a steal. That's a great deal. And again, if you are willing to give this Train Simulator World or Train Simulator Classic, I say go for it. And again, just to remind people, they're both different games. If you are a casual player or if you are used to Densha to Go, definitely go for Train Sim World. But if you want to be a conductor who needs to stay strict to the rules, then Train Simulator Classic's the way to go. It's Train Simulator World is more forgiving. Train Simulator Classic is less forgiving. You mess up, you mess up. You're not going to advance. This game, you could have some mess ups and still have a chance to pass to the next level or unlock something. So I think for a lot of casual gamers who are not familiar with train games, Train Sim World 3 is definitely recommended, especially when you have these sales. So again, peruse through both Train Sim World and Train Simulator Classic on Steam. Go through the pricing and go through the percentage of the sale. If it says 50 to 60 or 70 or 80% off, those are the ones to look at. The games go on sale often, so do not feel that they never will. They do go on sale all the time. Maybe not every month, but most of the major holidays or major events that Steam always has some sort of sale. So, and keep your eyes peeled too, because the third-party developers also have their own sales. Check on their website, check on the forum, especially on a lot of the Train Simulator World or Train Simulator Classic forums as well. Okay, what you're looking at here is the ANN live stream, which shows the cherry blossoms, and pretty much, yeah, they are full bloom. As mentioned, they started blooming last week. And while in Japan there was some rain, um, the cherry blossoms are out because of the warm weather. Usually people start to see them from the end of March and the first week of April. But they got like a 2 week or 3 week head start. So you definitely want to check them out. Well, hopefully most of you who are traveling Japan get there this week. I know there's a lot of events happening this weekend, especially for those going out to see Anime Japan. But for those who are coming next week, just hope that there's no wind, because these cherry blossoms will be gone. I know how it is to see something so beautiful and then come back the next week and it's all gone. It's part of the cycle in Japan. Beautiful for a short time and disappears, and you come back again the next year and the year after that. They'll always be there during the March or April. Again, now it seems like it's going to be March now. Usually with February, you see plum blossoms. The difference is the plum blossoms are more darker pink or purplish, while this one is white and pink. You'll notice that a lot of photos, including mine, for those who are familiar with my photography, they can get. I tend to make them a little bit more pink than they are. I think it's because for me, I think of cherry blossoms and sakura. I like seeing the pink, but the thing is that usually it's this color. You do see some pink in some places, but it's usually this color is typical. But yeah, such a beautiful sight to see. Okay, before I go, I just want to showcase. This is a older train station from Lego. But yeah, just for me, I love Lego products. I love Lego, period. But I never went as far as going to have a full railroad track and trains. I know that they've been released, and actually at one time considered it, but in the end I just said no, I need something smaller, and that's why the N gauge was more suitable for me. And there's some people who prefer the Z gauge for something a little bit more smaller. But for me, Legos are just pretty cool because of the detail and the colors. They're vibrant. They're fun. And looking at this Lego City train station, this is a 60050. You can just see the details. You get the little bike right here. You get trash cans, inspector. You get the chef right there with his sausage. You got the little signs right here, even the clock. I think that's just pretty awesome. And of course, you got the railroad tracks right here. You can see here, City Center Airport. There's just a lot of thought that went into making this train, which is not huge, but still looks very awesome. This picture of here are the TikTokers, the youthful TikTokers who post their videos of them lying on the tracks and posting on social media, and probably the police and the railroad station are going to come down hard on those individuals who try to be funny. But I'm sure they're going to have to pay some sort of fine. But yeah, here's an inspector right here. You got the barista, or is just let's see here, guy with his newspaper. Little taxi right there they came with. This person reading this newspaper with his smirk. Person with the chef right there, the baker. Person selling Lego City products. But yeah, this is a very pretty cool set. Again, it's classic, old school. So yeah, this is a Lego train station 60050. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. So this one is going to be about that French route that I talked about earlier for the let me get this right again because I know I'm going to butcher their name. This is a TGV duplex for the Marseille or Marseille, I don't know, to Avignon route. LGV Mediterranean. So I'm sure I said that wrong, but anyway, you could see some of the video there, and also my struggles of trying to figure out the pantograph, but also to see how forgiving the system is for TSW. Definitely not as forgiving on Train Simulator Classic. You guys saw me upset before because just one mistake, it'll ruin everything. Not so much with Train Simulator World. You got to really mess up for it to not for you not to be able to unlock it or get some points on it. But yeah, here you go. And by the way, everyone, you have a good weekend, okay? You all take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it's raining. Whoop. Make sure to... Oh. Really? You gonna make me go out here? So stupid. Up. Oh. something that has to do with the pantograph. I know it. Oh. I forgot if you have to rearm it. There we go. Finally. So it was supposed to be normal LG. I thought I had that. Serve armed on. No idea. And then when you see the blue marks, then you select the AC. I know that much. Normal LGV. We could still do it now. Here we go. We're out. In the pantograph is normal, but AC now. Alright? stuff that you have to keep your eye on. Gauge. Because once it goes downhill, that's when it gets a little crazy. supposed to be there at 9:30, and because of all the problems I had with the pantograph, it'll be a little slow, unfortunately. 10 minutes late. Took me 10 minutes to figure that pantograph out. Damn. Oh, that makes me mad. But hey, this is my first time doing the whole run through, so I can't complain. Okay, we're gonna lock the doors now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's make sure. Okay, it's locked. I know I did bad. Oh, it gave me a gold medal, surprisingly. Wow. Yeah, I messed up. I messed up when I got to that. But you know what? I think if anything, I think this was good learning experience about pantographs. And how this one had to shift from DC to LV, and then, or is it LV, and then the other one back to AC. It's good. It's good to know these things. But yeah, this was a pretty cool run. It didn't take too long. Should have been a lot faster, but I can't complain. I'm just glad I got this gold medal. So I thought I thought I was gonna get bronze. So I can't complain, considering I messed up. So let's go back, and I'll see you later.